on to Pisces. Spirit guides, the universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Pisces' highest good. How is Pisces feeling in this final week of June 2025 with regards to what they're thinking about or dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for Pisces, please. How is Pisces feeling? Right, Pisces, you've got the 10 of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords reversed, and the Strength card. You could be going through a separation. You could be going through a divorce, dividing assets. It could be a really emotionally testing time, like in terms of anger, animosity, bitterness, resentment, you know, petty arguments. I don't know. There's a need to be emotionally strong. The Queen of Swords is air energy. She cuts through the crap with that sword. But when she's reversed, she's either blocking or she's being very rude with the things that she's saying, okay? And that energy with the 10 of Pentacles, I mean, that's lasting generational wealth where 2 people have put assets together, they've put income together and created money for their children, for their children's children. You could be going through a divorce or a separation. You could be middle-aged or older. To be at the 10 of Pentacles, you know, you're past middle age, maybe. You could be retired. Yeah, we've got Judgment, okay? There's a call to act. The time is now. The Knight of Cups, okay? Making moves to express how we feel to someone. That is literally travelling towards someone and expressing yourself, expressing how you feel. It's usually a romantic card, but perhaps you're letting someone know, I want a divorce, I don't feel good, this is how I feel, I don't know. Right, they're showing up as the 2 of Swords reversed, so they're no longer looking away from this and burying their head in the sand. They're no longer blindfolding themselves. Okay, they're facing up to it. we've got the Devil, the Queen of Cups upright, the King of Pentacles reversed, and the Devil. Okay. You're showing up as the Queen of Swords. They're showing up as the Queen of Cups with the King of Pentacles reversed. So this person could feel a lack of abundance financially. They could be busy trying to heal. They could be a Capricorn, okay, because we've got earth and water here. I think they feel very attached to you. I think they're like... I think they feel like they're losing their stability with that King of Pentacles reversed. And then the Queen of Cups is like they're trying to heal. They could be feeling very codependent. Because the Devil is a card of codependency, obsession, infatuation. Yeah. Recovery from heartbreak. I think you're leaving them. I think they were in denial and then now they're like realizing. Let's get 3 for the outcome. The 7 of Pentacles. 7's a number of reflection. It's looking back on the past. What have we cultivated? What's been achieved so far? What have I invested so far in terms of time, money and energy? Because that's what Pentacles are. Was it the right thing? Have we achieved enough? The Hierophant. Okay, so this is the wise teacher. It's someone who's experienced a lot of life. They've lived a lot, they've learned a lot, okay, and they're willing to spread the word, to tell others so that they won't make the same mistakes as them. They're no longer the student, they're the teacher now, okay? So it can also be a marriage card. Now the challenge is being left out in the cold and being treated unfairly, you know, with how these assets are going to be divided. You know, how are we going to share out time, money and energy? If you've got children, how are you going to, you know, share custody? How are you going to make it fair? If you've got to divide assets, savings, if there's, you know, money that needs to be paid for the children, how are we going to divide that? How are we going to organise it? This is the challenge. Let's clarify their cards, because you know what you're feeling and why. Why have they got the Devil? Why weren't they dealing with this previously? Why do they feel like they've got a lack of money? Vicious circle. Path of relationship issues, bad habits, and no-win situation. Adrift, not willing to settle down or be responsible, time to commit and put down roots. Bad habits and no-win situation. Chaotic clarity. Amidst confusion and intense crisis, seek the light of understanding and resolve. Oh my God, what's this? Sex shop. Falling apart, falling into pieces. That's creepy. How creepy is that? Creepy doll. You know, even if someone hasn't been cheating, they could still be, you know, visiting websites, calling sex lines. Or they could feel like, you know, that part of themselves is like not a good match for you. You mismatched the two of you like that. Vicious circle, adrift. They could sabotage in order to like experience these things again, when really they're going to regret doing that. Because it's about cycles of bad behaviour, bad habits. I really thought you'd always be here. I'm afraid to get close and terrified to lose you. Yeah, so there could be someone that like they keep going back to, you know, reset, start things new with different people, keep it sexual. They're not comfortable with opening up emotionally, and yet they're codependent, or they just really don't want to separate, but you know, there's something maybe feels hollow about this for you. So even though you've built up, it's a bit 10 of Pentacles, you've built up a really good financial situation, but it's no good if that's all there is. You've got to follow your gut on this one. And it looks like you will separate, honestly. Let's get you some advice. Oh, hang on. I keep forgetting to do these ones, these purple ones. One more clarifier. Move on. Someone is unavailable, a waste of time, it's over. They're codependent, but there's something like almost hollow about the relationship. You can be financially in a really good situation, but you can think, God, well, like, especially once children have moved out of the home, you can think, God, well, you know, we're so like not enough for each other, like there isn't enough between us now that like the kids have moved out or whatever. But they're like comfortable with the status, and they don't want the change and everything. Taking shelter, the answers lie within. Okay, so you've got to follow your own intuition, your own gut, what's your body telling you. You can't say to other people, how do I feel? What should I do? You've got to do what you know, if you don't feel happy in a situation, then that's your answer, isn't it? You've got your answer, it's just that you're dragging your feet because you know it's going to be a pain in the arse to like deal with everything, but it's not, because you know you should never be like asking other people what should I do about your relationship. Like, you and the person in it know the state of it, and you know whether it makes you happy or not. you know whether the thought of being there for the rest of your life makes you feel depressed or bored or miserable or excited, thrilled, fulfilled. You know, like it's not a conundrum because you don't know what the answer is. You do know the answer. It's that you're worried about judgment from others, you're worried about the upheaval, you're worried about the change, you're worried about other people, you know, how they'll react to it. But it just is what it is, isn't it? If it's unbearable, the thought of like doing another 10, 20 years where you are, then you need to do something. Fertility. The frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. So, you know, things that are fertile, like a fertile land, you know, there's new growth, and, you know, organisms need fertile land, they need fertile soil. You can't create abundance where something's become barren, where something's become a wasteland and all the vitamins and nutrition are being used up. Maybe the contract has come to an end, you know, and it's time to call this a fallow field and move to another field, you know, to graze somewhere else, like to reseed in a totally different location. Like that's what that's giving me. Right, let's see what animal you're showing up as. What's your spirit animal right now? Okay, so you've got the golden egg. And you've got the turtle. So the turtle is very capable, very resilient, travels for thousands of kilometers, you know, enjoys the surf, eats jellyfish for breakfast. Got a really, really tough shell covered in barnacles, you know. The turtle has one job, and that is to, you know, hatch those eggs and then see the little ones off into the water, and it's bye-bye, you know. So it's a bit brutal in a way, but it's like after that they're independent, you know, and the turtle's independent. So that is kind of the answer, to be honest. The golden egg, we're gonna have to Google that one. We're gonna have to Google that because I keep looking these up and then I keep forgetting again. But the golden egg to me is like, you know, knowing that you've got so much to offer. You got something really, really special that other people want, and it's, for me, it's like productivity, creativity, unique talents, stuff like this. So you've got move on, taking shelter, fertility, the answers lie within you, reflection on the past, you know, this like sense of like, this is final now, it's time for me to like spread my wings. So I'm going to leave that there, Pisces. Feel free to Google that one to get some deeper meanings. If you liked the reading, please give it a like, share the video, repost, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your evening.